Reel-to-reel picture show. And now here's our host, Pat Fuller.
Our show offers you something that no other shopping show has to offer. Let me say that one more time.
You wanted to give your prizes here and that you were here for that great cause of anti-bullying. And there's no way that I can stand here and take all of that from you.
I've watched a lot of bad game shows over the past 5 years to cover on this site, as well as on YouTube. Some that were offensively bad, such as Love Triangle and Take It All. Some that were just shallow, such as Blank Check and The Color of Money. But then you get to the ones that are insanely boring. And Let's Go Back may be one of the most boring game shows in existence.
It's time for the game that takes you back in time. Let's go back. And now, here's the host of Let's Go Back, Scott Sternberg.
Thank you very much. How are you doing? How are you out there? Welcome to Let's Go Back.
The host himself is also the producer of this show, and Scott Sternberg. I have made it abundantly clear that I hate everything that he has done. Now he's managed to screw up everything that he's touched. From the Newlywed Game with Paul Rodriguez, to Wheel 2000, to Jep, and several others that I haven't even covered yet. I also hate him because he's a scumbag. In 2011, when Casey Anthony was found not guilty of killing her own daughter, Scott Sternberg joined up with her to sell an hour-long interview to anybody who was willing to buy it, for $750,000. It takes a special type of scumbag to profit off this insane trial where an innocent kid was murdered. Seriously, fuck you, Sternberg. That's not even getting to his hosting ability. That is to say, what hosting ability? He reads off questions, doesn't really vamp at all, and when he does vamp, he comes off like a fake. Like he's reading from the Complete Idiot's Guide to Game Show Hosting. Not only that, he has no personality that would make him likable. Just like him in real life. The gameplay itself is where we now get bored. And stop me when you heard this one before. 3 contestants compete in a game of questions and answers by selecting a category and a question from said category. A correct answer is worth 10 points, a wrong answer deducts 10 points. Behind one of the 20 questions is a time capsule where, if you're right, you get a prize. Yep, nothing like Jeopardy whatsoever. Seriously, Scott, come up with something original. Oh, wait, you did, and that was TV's first porno game show and everything goes. God, you suck! While we're on the subject of prizes, the time capsule prizes look like they were picked up at a thrift shop. The prizes ran from a model car that looked like Richie's car from Happy Days, to a puzzle that put together resembled the family from 8 is Enough, to a pet rock. Yes, the prizes from the early episodes from Shop Teardrop were better than this junk. Heck, the gag gifts from Shop Teardrop were better. At least the velour jewelry box had some use. The second round played the same, except now everything is worth 20 points. Sorry, not even Richard Karn could get me excited about doubling these points. Hold on a second, let's test this theory.
I am doubling the points. I think I'll double the points. Nothing can come from nothing, so I shall double the points.
Nope, not excited. And while we're ripping off Jeopardy, now let's rip off Split Second, one of the most inventive quizzers to be on TV by ripping off their countdown round, to which Scott Sternberg now calls the final decades round. The person in the lead only has to answer 4 more correct to win the grand prize, second place 5, and third place 6. Yep, reminds me of Split Second, alright. Sternberg rambles off a moment in history, and the contestants have to decide which decade it was in, 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s. Whomever does get to 0 wins the great grand prize of $500. Okay, I know it's wrong to rail on a show for being cheap, but it's not that hard for a small cable channel to at least give away $1,000. Heck, Sternberg did it in the same thing when he was doing Everything Goes, and that was in the Jurassic period of cable when it wasn't available in all the homes. He probably spent all of the money to produce this show and to get prizes, getting his stupid mullet all perfectly coiffed. I mean, seriously, look at that thing. He looks like a douche. At the end of the day, the show is boring and terrible. Scott was wooden as a host, the gameplay is ripping off other shows, and the prizes were so cheap that not even Stone Stanley would have them on Born Lucky. If you want to watch a show involving history of anything, seek out History IQ or even Time Machine. At least the first 5 weeks of Time Machine were enjoyably bad. This is just beyond bad. I've had enough. Time to watch some Shop Teardrop.
And now, here's the host
host of Shop Till You Drop, J.D. Roberto.
Grandma, get in the box!
Yes, Patrick, it was.
Thank you very much. Okay.